Makes the hair stand on end. Goosebumps, as we call it. What is significant about a goosebump? Okay, it can maybe tell me something about temperature. Anything else about goosebumps? Their protection. You walk into your car at night, not very much light, in the parking lot. You kind of get that little tingle. Hair kind of stands up on the back of your neck. Pay attention to it. Even though it's a majorly leftover response to danger, okay, it is still picking up information we in no way can pick up on. So yeah, it's still actually smooth muscle based on homeostasis. Homeostasis means the organism needs to live. If I get that little tingle on the back of my neck, danger is present in some way. So that can do it. That's kind of cool. It's actually much left over from caveman days, and for us, still significant, believe it or not. All of the activities are involuntary because, yes, it's dealing with smooth muscle. We do not have to even be conscious or aware of this system working. It's a good thing that we're not, because there's no way we can monitor the amount of information we have to deal with. It's a ton of information. Visceral effectors. Note what it says. This means, for example, stomach, intestine, all right, are not dependent. I don't know why, I didn't get my text messages. The visceral effectors don't depend on this system to function. Wait a minute, what? What is everything that I've just been saying up to this point? I've been telling you it's controlling. Wait a minute. Now I'm saying that it's not dependent. What does it need to do, though? It needs to adjust the activity. Because this system has information given to it by all of these centers in the brain, what it is doing is adjusting to meet the body's needs.
So this sort of controls the body's ability to acclimate to different conditions, like if we go to altitude?
Exactly. So it's making sure that my body can adjust to the temperature in the classroom where we're sitting. Adjust to the amount of light that is entering into our eyes. Anybody in here eat breakfast this morning? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Eat your breakfast. All right? Even if you have to grab the Pop-Tarts coming out the door. It would be taking care of making sure the food got digested. All right? It's monitoring And I kind of like that. The fluid intake, all right? It's monitoring, do we need the impulse to go to the bathroom? You see where I'm going with this? It's making sure your body can adjust to every single stimulus it's receiving. Now, when we were talking, I can't remember if it was this class or it wasn't my 2 o'clock class, one of the students made a really good connection when we were talking about the spinal nerve. And they asked the question of, if the spinal cord gets severed or there is spinal nerve damage, does it affect the organ of the body? Was it in here? Okay. That was a really good question. Anybody else thought about that to this point? Because we've talked about the spinal nerves, okay? And now, I'm trying to show you that the things that we have discussed to this point, brain, spinal cord, spinal nerves, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, now I'm pointing in this direction, telling you, autonomic. So if this got severed or damaged, do you think it could affect organs that may be associated with the nerve? Yes. Why?
They're not getting any information.
They're not getting any information. Their job is not to send information. Their job is to respond to what that primitive area of the brain is picking up on from receptors within the body. Does that make sense? It's going to become clear in just a second. The innervation that you're going to see for viscera, before me to get, do you see how I keep pointing to this right here, outside of these bones, okay? For this to get formed for my autonomic nervous system, it exits by way of the spinal nerve. So if it got severed or damaged, the nerve that would exit for the autonomic nervous system would get damaged too. And therefore, whatever organ or area it serves would be damaged.
I mean, does the damage have to be done to that specific area? Or, I mean, if you have somebody that has like a high break in their neck and they're like a quadriplegic, they don't have to hook up to a bunch of machines. They may be like incontinent, not be able to feel the need to restroom.
Yes. It would depend, it would actually depend on which level. Like, for example, most of y'all are probably not old enough to remember the original, Superman, Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, if one of the things about it, he was on respirator, he had no control over any of the functions of his body. The reason is because of where the damage occurred. He, in all actuality, should not have survived that incident. Because where his damage occurred, it actually occurred between the skull and C1. He actually survived decapitation. Does everybody know what I mean by that? In all reality, he should not have survived. but because of where that break occurred, he had nothing. He had control over where all of this viscera. He was on machines for that. Okay? If breaks occur at a lower level in the C spine, okay, note the distance away from the brain stem. Therefore, it would determine whether you would need to be completely controlled by machines or possibly, and about the only thing the quadriplegic really has, and sometimes not even that, is breathing. Okay? So it really depends on at what level is the C gets better.
But I guess it's not like the organs aren't solely dependent on the nerves though. I mean, they're controlled by like other, like emotions and
They have the ability to affect this, okay? But they are responding to information that is picked up, for the most part, mostly by the brain stem. And C1 being so close to that is the reason that if someone like trauma in like C1, C2, C3, for the most part, because of the relationship to the brain stem, people don't survive that. They usually die. Okay? They can survive if it's further down, like C6, C7, okay? Then they can survive thoracic region, lumbar region, okay? Might have other issues, like maybe someone who is paralyzed from the waist down, where it's in the lumbar region. One of the things they wouldn't have control over or have, is their ability to go to the bathroom. Because this would be the area served to those organs. Yeah, exactly. So it's really the relationship because of the fibers that are going to run for this system run along the pathway of a spinal nerve. And therefore, any damage that was done, anything below it, would be damaged to those organs getting served. Does that make sense? So, when autonomic nerves are severed, it will be referred to as denervation because it's not, the nerve supply is affected. Hypersensitivity. They're overly sensitized. All right? So, it can lead to something, for example, as an exaggerated response from cardiac muscle. And that means it would not control it, but affect the heart rate, which might have to have other measures done to make sure the heart rate stays normal, such as a pacemaker. Just like the peripheral nervous system, which is serving our skeletal muscle, and we had a reflex. Once again, we have a portion of our nervous system serving muscle. This time, though, we're serving smooth muscle. So guess what? We still get a reflex. Yes, you have reflexes from your viscera. And it's termed a visceral reflex. The response to the stimulus. So, this time, reflexes are unconscious.